Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks again to Johanna for putting on this fabulous conference today. This is my second pleasure to be able to present. I presented last October on a similar topic. I've changed it up a little bit, so I'm here to talk about inertia and transforming inertia into success. And if anyone has ever been in that stage of inertia, let me tell you a story of what happened to me back in 2011. So we were asked earlier if we all remembered where we were on September 11th, right? So after September 11th, I worked for a large consulting firm. And shortly thereafter, I was selling presentation skills training. And no one was really buying presentation skills training after September 11th. So about a month later, my boss for the company that I worked for told me on the phone, unfortunately, we are laying off 35 people today, and you are one of them. I will always remember those words, and I will remember that after that moment, I felt inertia. I was really frozen. I didn't know how to react. I had never been laid off of a job before. Raise your hand if you've ever been laid off from a position where it was not of your choice. Sure, sure. Keep your hands up if you've been downsized twice. Keep them up if you've been downsized 3 times, 4 times. 4 times for me. So each successive time it's happened, and it could happen again, I'm certainly much more prepared for it. So at that time, I really set my identity with what my business card said, with how much I earned. I was a director of consulting services, very impressive. And I lost all of that. So what I'm going to talk to you about for the next hour or so is I'm going to talk to you about some strategies that I put together to help myself move forward. And it's called the balance wheel. And I realized that my life could not just revolve around my career, but there were other aspects of my life that were not in sync, where I had to mend some fences. I'm from Colorado. John Elway is my favorite quarterback. He's lucky jersey number 7. 7 is my favorite number. It's my husband's favorite number too, but I say I've had it longer. So I came up with a wheel of 7 aspects. So I'm going to talk to you about that in just a moment. So let's talk about our agenda and how, if I can be of help and a resource for you, of how someone can move from total inertia and just being frozen, being stuck, into feeling that everything is possible and so excited about life. I would really appreciate having that privilege to do so today. So inertia, we're going to talk a little bit about what it is and why would you use it when you're talking about transition. Talk about the fear of change and how that's tied together. Is why are we in inertia? Why are we in a state of inertia? What are we concerned about? What are we trying to protect ourselves from by staying in the same place and not moving, in a safety zone, we think it might be called. Talk about the 3 phases of transition, and I'll talk to you about an experience when I worked at the NUMMI Reemployment Center and working with 5,000 auto workers that had been laid off. And I could talk to them about how I went through inertia and help them go through their phases. Talk about getting back in the game, and then talk about that balance wheel. And because I'm a cyclist, I'm going to talk to you about defining your spokes. We're going to have an activity where we're going to ask you to define the 7 spokes of your wheel, a very quick exercise, and then talk about wheel maintenance, right? If you're a bicyclist, you have to maintain that bicycle. So raise your hand if you have a burning question, comment, or sarcastic remark. I will certainly allow time for that.